was trying to fuel sentiment of anger against the people on the ground. Nobody knows what could happen, even despite all the possible security efforts. That's why I said that from our side, we put all possible measures in place, but we would have expected a different approach by the authorities, because if you are inviting the guests, normally the first rule of invitation, and I know how much warm are the Zimbabwean people, how strong is the sense of the hospitality. The first precondition of an invitation is to ensure a full safety, and some of them, they didn't feel really safe in some moment in the deployment on the ground because of this climate of fake news, fear, and defamation that was held from the authority. On the participation of people of disability, with disability, observers remarked in many cases that not all the police stations were adequate to ensure their full access of participation. But I will now leave the floor to my deputy, Dr. Beata Martin Rozumilovic, to go a bit further in detail on the data and in the mark on this issue of the participation of people with disability.
And can I also say, with regard to the safety of observers, it's not just the safety of international observers, it's also the safety of citizen observers on the ground who continue to do their work. And we are aware of the recent cases of abductions, of torture, of murder, as Mr. Castaldo mentioned. The EU spokesperson has made a statement that there is an expectation that there be a thorough inquiry into all of these recent abduction cases, and that culprits must be properly identified and brought to justice. This is also something that our EU delegation on the ground will be following up in terms of any connections to the elections and human rights abuses. So we look at this issue of safety of observers from all angles. But turning now to the question of participation of persons with disability, again, there is a full section in the final report about this very important issue. We find that, unfortunately, no significant efforts were taken to grant persons with disabilities participation. Things that we note are that the CPRD has not been incorporated into domestic law. That's the Convention of the Rights of Persons with Disabilities. We also reflect upon the fact that in the 1992 Disabled Persons Act looks at the point of view of welfare rather than a rights-based approach, and this is something that needs to be further examined. Many of the interlocutors told us that they would have preferred, in the allocation of seats, to see members from the persons of disability community directly elected as individuals rather than through the quota system that currently exists. But we do make a recommendation which is quite clear, and this is that there be an amendment to the Disabled Persons Act to effectively incorporate the Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disability into domestic law. And this is one of those 21 recommendations that we hope will be worked on in the future to bring the level of rights, both regional and international standards, into a better perspective in electoral processes in Zimbabwe.
So we have time for one more very short question, and I see a hand from Zimba Chikanza. Excuse my apologies for my pronunciation. So Zimba, if you could just ask one question, a short one, that would be appreciated. Thank you. So he seems to be offline or seems to have technical problems. At this point, we conclude this press conference. This is the final press conference of the European Union Election Observation Mission to Zimbabwe. The question was asked also in the chat when the report would be available online. It will be going public at in a couple of minutes. If it's not already online, you can find it on the website of the EU EOM. We will post the respective link also again on our Facebook page, and we will tweet that also on X. So you will have the respective link together with the link for the press release very shortly. Thank you very much for your attention, and have a good.
Yes, just as a very last statement, we would like to thank all of you for the participation today in our press conference, for your insightful, interesting question. And I would like to personally in public express my very warm thanks to the core team of my mission and to all the staff, to all the observers that have been deployed, because for me, it has been a real honor to lead such a mission with such a committed, professional, and absolutely passionate core team beside me. So that I wanted really to seize that opportunity to thank all of them, to thank all the embassies also that provide the help and support with their additional observer, and to so thank the 27 member states of the EU and Canada, Norway, and Switzerland for the excellent cooperation on the ground. And once more, of course, my core team that was extremely committed in tackling all the difficulties we had to face to bring this mission to the conclusion. Sorry to have interrupted, dear Herbert.
All right, so that was the final word. Thank you very much, and have a good afternoon. Bye-bye.